Welcome to Couch 44. Today's episode is all about film. My name is Nathan Hamilton, and we are on location at the wonderful Windsor Theatre, known to be doing double weekly screenings since 1968. Can you believe it? Now, we've got a wonderful lineup for you today, featuring a roundtable interview with some local SA filmmakers, followed up by a field report with yours truly. They finally let me out. And then after that, David, one of our other hosts, is coming on to do some street interviews. Our other wonderful hosts, we've got Henry and we've got Demi. They are going to be spearheading the music industry. They're going to be talking about bands, seeing some performances, talking about interviews as well. So, stay hydrated, stay tuned, and welcome to Couch 44.
Need a friend, yeah. Give me your tongue, I wanna see your face. A sloppy engine on your broader waist. I really don't wanna let you down. Everybody's into different things, yeah. Oh yeah. Woo!
Do you ever want to make a film about gardening?
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect Days. Have you seen Perfect Days?
I haven't, but I will.
Bloody good.
Well, speaking of film, I feel like we should perhaps get into it a little bit. Let's start at the foundation. What got you into film?
I guess the short version of it is, so my dad is a documentary maker, and back, a few years ago, I won't say how many, I thought maybe I would follow that path. I loved the impact that documentaries can have on you and on an audience, and how powerful they can be. But then I went to film school and kind of fell in love with genre, and haven't really looked back. And I think it's, the people kind of keep you in there. You make amazing connections with people, and you just want to keep working with them and making stuff and pushing boundaries. I think that's the short answer.
What about you?
I actually went into music first. So I was in bands and stuff like that. And then one of my bandmates at the time was like, oh, I'm going to go to film school. Like, I want to apply for film school. And I was like, well, I want to apply for film school. Like, you can't do it, So I applied. I got in. He didn't. He does not do film. And I just kind of found I'd always loved writing, and I'd always loved, filmmaking, but in a very like amateurish or sort of early way. And then I just kind of found myself like finding the right, format for what I wanted to say.
To operate within.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
kind of like finding the people that I want to collaborate with and all of that sort of stuff.
And building your own family as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, like the family thing, or film family is such a big part of it for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful. How do you feel about, in terms of where you came from and the family that we've got to develop now in terms of film? Would you happen to agree with that?
I think that's like what makes me excited about making movies is like the collaboration process with, like actors and cinematographers. Like I think that was a big part of like making my feature film was like basing around people's talents. So like my girlfriend Hebe, she's like a musician, she's like an artist. So it's like, how can we use those like talents to like work together to make something new? So
in terms of South Australia, with the film industry there, what would be your thoughts on the community that we have to build here? Just weigh in here. What are your thoughts on the community for South Australia and the film within?
I mean, I think like things are moving in good ways, in terms of like who gets the opportunities to tell what story, and who's kind of nurtured to kind of, become a filmmaker who is kind of backed by the industry. Like I think it's opening up, but I think that's the biggest thing. Directors, when people think of directors, I think they you know, unfortunately do still think of a particular kind of person as a director. That's changing, but I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just opportunity for people to be telling stories.
Awareness and opportunity.
Because, yeah, I think so. Because, like, making films is so hard. It's so resource heavy. Like, you know, you can go out and do, like, a $2,000 feature, absolutely, if you've got the community behind you. And you can do it on your own too. It just depends what kind of filmmaker you want to be.
Yeah.
But I think, and I don't know exactly how to fix that in the world, because that's a bigger question than just film. That's like, well, how do we make an equal society in a world that's inherently very unequal? Yeah. But I think that's probably the biggest existential question.
Yeah, certainly working as a director, like a female director, is its own. You know, it's just hard to get the trust in people to back you. I think we could just tell more interesting and wild stories, to be honest. I think we could be a bit braver. Apart from low budget stuff like the $2,000 well, where I think there is this great underground, like you do have the freedom to go and do that, and you can make those choices, and you are brave in making those choices. You have to make something that's a bit noisy and like interesting. Otherwise, we're just making things that are maybe not as interesting as what they could be.
It's a big question, because it's like that thing of like, there are nations around the world that have got like a really strong film culture that's based around a national identity and history and culture. And maybe, I mean, this is someone else's idea that's smarter than me, and I'm just like parroting it now, but it's like, in Australia, we haven't dealt with some of the really big issues in our past. We don't want to deal with the fact that, you know, this is an invaded country that perpetrated genocide. And so we kind of, when we don't delve to bring up those risky kind of ideas, because if you start to go down that place, it's like, what's going to come up?
I don't know, like, I think in the 70s, like, we used to have like a really cool film industry, and it felt like way more experimental, and like Peter Weir would come here and make The Plumber and weird like genre films like that, you know what I mean? Like, I agree with you that it kind of feels a bit like stilted sometimes, or like a lot of filmmakers feel like they have to compete with like Hollywood films.
The way that people have been brought up, or the way that film is viewed, is looked at like, oh no, that's scary, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then you have someone make a $2,000 feature film, which is insane and wonderful. What was your experience doing that?
It took me a long time. So it took me like 4 years to finish this film, and I shot it pretty quick, but then because I work a lot and stuff, it was kind of like editing in the gaps.
Put off to the back burner.
Yeah, exactly. And but as far as the film went, like, I feel like it went pretty smoothly. Like it was just because it was a group of friends like making it, and you know.
Were you discovering the film as you were making it, or did you kind of really know what you wanted, the vision?
Yeah, it's a very simple film. So the whole film's shot in the Botanic Gardens, Rymel Park, and then we hired an Airbnb in Henley.
Oh, great.
So yeah, like I just found it like a fun experience. I was just happy to be able to make like a film, and yeah.
Did you learn anything from it? What would be the number one thing that you took away from it?
I think really like, I've made like a lot of shorts and like tried like a few web series and stuff in the past, but I think like working on this film, like I feel like I was finally, like after 10 years of making shorts and stuff, I was finally like starting to figure out my style like a little bit. Like I've always been into like Eric Romer French films about like just like people like conversations and that kind of stuff. So I was like, I might just try doing something like that.
Yeah, I think you have to evolve as a creator, as a person. I think I don't want to just keep making the same thing. So I think once I feel like I want to challenge, maybe I'd branch out.
What would be some of the things that you would love to give to up and coming filmmakers, to future filmmakers, if you could have a conversation with them and be like, here's what I learned?
I think there's a lot of sticking in there. I think people probably think of film as something that's going to happen quite quickly, or they get it is a bit of a marathon, and you really have to stick it out. You have to kind of it takes a long time, and it takes a long time. I think it takes 10 years, maybe 10-ish years, to kind of like find your place, or feel like you're finding your place, and finally kind of go. And even just from a vision perspective, right? Like it's not like from an industry perspective, from a collaboration perspective, and then just figuring out like what sort of stories do I want to tell? Who do I want to be? Like, who even am I?
Back yourself, back your work. I didn't do that for a long time. I was always apologising for myself. And Oh, the biggest piece of advice I would say is like, don't listen to the people who say why you can't do something or why something wouldn't work. And my other piece of advice is like, it can be lonely, so reach out to people. Like, just buy them coffee, like ask them questions.
Are you, saying that I need to buy you a coffee?
You're reaching out currently.
I'm wondering why I haven't had a coffee from this coffee machine.
I think go all in. I think
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
told me really early on, they were like, when you're putting your story together, go all in. Don't half do it. Don't pull yourself back because you're worried it's risky or it's a bit, not right or whatever. Like, you've just got to kind of go all in and back yourself and just go for it.
Well, speaking of going all in, I'm going all in to go hydrate. We're basically kind of done here. We're basically kind of wrapped. So thank you so much for coming with us today.
Thanks, Nathan.
Fantastic. No worries. Appreciate it.
Thanks for asking us.
But yeah, no, you guys are welcome back anytime, as long as there's like 8 other cameras as well. But yeah,
We need more cameras.
we need more cameras, more coffee machines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Very
Thank
good.
you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I'm here with Sean, Jackson, and Jason of the Shadow Ministers. How are we?
Very well, thank you.
Beautiful. Now, with your band, if you were to describe it in 3 words, how best?
I'd say rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
No.
Yeah, I think so there's 4 of us that write songs and we take turns sort of playing the lead singer role, and there's, it's just fun, and it's at the core of it, it's just rock and roll. There's a lot of different sort of vibes that come through that, but yeah, it's just fun rock and roll gigs, yeah.
We were talking before a little bit more about how actually collaborative this project is. What's it like having that collaboration together?
It's the best.
It takes a lot of pressure off, because we all just chip in our bit and we've all got a couple of songs each that we do. And there's just less pressure when it's like, this is my band and I need to write the songs and all that. And
Not crazy, especially from a drummer perspective. I'm getting 3 different songwriting styles from one band, so keeps it interesting, keeps me on my toes.
If you had to pick another non-conventional venue in Adelaide to perform at, where would you go?
The Cranker's always somewhere close to the top of the list. You can't really go wrong with the Cranker. Had many good gigs there over the years. Yeah.
Down Henley on the beach was cool.
Yeah, beachfront's good.
Semaphore Road was cool, little street gigs.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how a lot of us started jamming. How I met some of these guys was doing busking blues stuff out the front of Foodland. In Semi Road, IGA, whatever it is.
Love the open air gigs.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Go wrong with
Yeah.
that. And you guys have done a few festivals as well. How have they been for you?
The Pirate Life do once a year or maybe a couple of times a year. They put on a big gig there, and that's been, we played earlier this year, and that was a lot of fun.
Note stock was pretty good.
Yep. Note stock. People at the Note Mag. Yeah.
It's good to have the variety of it all. And speaking of variety, you're about to perform your song "Oh Baby"
Yes.
right here for us.
Yes.
How did that song come about? Give us a little insight to the process.
That song was definitely lyrics last. Just a fun guitar riff that I sort of came about, and as we were saying before, it's a very collaborative effort. It's as simple as I had a guitar riff and we caught up and just, what do you guys think? And it just came together so easily. Everyone played their part, and some very surface level lyrics made their way through, and
They're great lyrics.
oh, thank you, Jason. Yeah, it's just a fun song to play. It's very, very much more about the feel than the message or anything like that.
Before you start making your way, any final words?
Rock and roll, baby.
King Street, baby.
That's exactly what we want to hear. Thank you so much for joining me, and we're looking forward to seeing you perform.
They let me out. We're out of the studio, and we are on location, on set for Dragging the Chain, directed by Virginia Blackwell. We're going to see what's going on and how a film set is actually made and managed and created and explored. So let's go, all right? we are joined by the wonderful, wonderful director. My dear, tell me a bit about the project. Tell me a bit about what you're doing here specifically.
So, Dragging the Chain is the film. It's a 15-minute short about grief in young women and what that looks like, especially when you're processing really major feelings and society really doesn't appreciate the way that you deal with those feelings. I came up with it like 6 months ago in my living room, and then from here we've now somehow gotten this amazing set, all these incredible actors on board, amazing crew.
And all within 6 months,
Yeah.
which is a pretty tight turnaround for a 15-minute project. So what's the point of today been?
So today we've been really like workshopping the script in its sort of final form. And so really we were looking at it with all of the actors. I'm going to go away tonight and then completely rewrite.
So I'm an actor on the project. I play the role of Kate.
What's happening here today? Why have you been called in as an actor?
So we're here for a rehearsal and to start blocking through some of the scenes.
And blocking, could you tell us a little bit about what blocking is?
Blocking is a process that tells us about the movement within a scene. So working out, when do I open the door? What happens once I entered? Am I looking around? Am I making eye contact with somebody? Are there objects in the room that I need to be making a moment of? And then past those physical actions or gestures, it's also about getting a shape of the emotional arc of a scene.
It was important to me to get in the room with the actors first of all so that we could develop a language together, and not just about, you know, how we talk about text, but also physical language. Obviously looking at camera is also a really big part of it. It just sort of gives me an idea of, okay, where do I want the camera? What am I hoping I'm going to see? It gives me a bit more space to kind of actually work out what we're hoping to achieve.
That'd be $5.
Where am I?
Servo.
The town, dipshit. What town am I in?
Dipshit. That's rich, coming from the one who can't read.
Can't see it.
Yeah, well, it's because it's not on there.
What do you mean it's not on there?
Well, it's at the arse end of nowhere. What do you expect?
Give me a rough idea.
I don't know. Somewhere around here.
Why won't you tell me where I am?
I just did. Oi, you need to pay for that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Do you like to have a look inside the Big Delights van? Come on in here. Get up. All right, here we go. We also have a half-eaten bag of Cocoa Pops. That wasn't me. Anyways, what else do we have? We have some lights. We have some polyester boards. We've got some scrimmage up here. Scrim City. Some stands. And that's the fan.
What's your role here today? What are you doing?
Well, I'm unit manager, so that means a lot of logistics. Unit is definitely about motivation, keeping the team motivated through food.
With being a first-time director, first-time writer, what is a challenge that you are a little fearful of, but also like are really excited to sort of dig your teeth in?
Man, there's about 50 million of them. It's been a massive undertaking to try and get something of this scale up, but thankfully everyone who's in the crew is so amazing and so onto it and is really passionate about the work that they've kind of held my hand through that whole process. So
Well, you need a family to be your crew. There's no other way to do it, really.
absolutely.
That's a wrap on Dragging the Chain. We're finished on this film set, and by the looks of it, so are they. So we see you next time, alright? Bye.
Hi, my name is David. With Couch 44, I'm here with
Matt.
Natalia and Brooke.
How's your day been today?
Yeah, good. I woke up at midday.
Nice. Why was that? Big night?
Big night. Big day.
If you were to be able to only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Maybe the Titanic.
Titanic?
Yes.
That's one of your favorites?
Yes, my favorites. In my maybe 6 years old, I watched the movie for my first time. It's Titanic.
Wow.
Yes, very. Because my mom take me to the movie.
Oh, nice.
Movie film.
That's
Yes.
very cool. That's nice.
Cars.
Cars?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Any of the
You said I can only pick one.
No,
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, or 3. So your 3 was going to be Cars 1, 2, and 3?
Cars.
That's pretty good.
Cars 1.
Cars 1?
Well, my favourite movie of all time is The Parent Trap with
The
Lindsay
Parent
Lohan,
Trap.
about the twins and they get separated, meet back at camp. So I feel like that one. I gotta watch my favourite movie.
I reckon Jumanji. I really think Jumanji.
Which one? The old or the
No, not the original. Like the remade with Kevin Hart and The Rock.
the one with Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson? You would pick over the original Jumanji to watch for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
This
Have you seen the original?
Yeah, but they're just funny.
now just look at the camera and say yeah. Say that.
I don't want to look at the camera.
Is there a movie that you hate but everyone loves?
Do not like rom-coms. I don't mind.
All every single rom-com created.
Every rom-com's the exact same. Like
every single one.
It's pretty much the same storyline.
And you can predict the ending.
Yeah, they always end up together.
I love a rom-com.
Love story, but not that complex. Very easy.
I do agree. Like the love movies kind of make it look like it's so easy.
Yes, it's not that simple.
It's not that simple. I agree. If you were able to create like a movie genre yourself, what type of mixes or blends would you have in there?
Superbad, Wolf of Wall Street, and Cars.
That is insane. I'm trying to. Yeah, that is actually fucking crazy. What?
Not gonna lie, I'd probably watch a horror musical. I don't know if that's been done before.
Maybe a High School Musical. Maybe like Hangover. Maybe like.
For us.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is great to meet. Thank you guys.
wrap. That's all the time we have for today. So, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us to the end for this episode of Couch 44. Big thank you to the hosts that helped out, and an even bigger thank you to those that we interviewed. Next week is all about music. Stay tuned.